Today we have our respected history teacher Praveen sir with us. Let's know the biodiversity which was existing and still exists in our area from him. Sir, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Sir, from how long you have been living in this area? Almost 3 months. Sir, then where were you born? In Bihar. Sir, what was the main staple food consumed there and what differences or changes you feel in this region's food? Uh, to me, I do not feel that many differences, but we have like a balance of rice and wheat. But here, people consume more of rice. I also I have also seen that thing, and I have also felt about that. Any changes in the kind of food you consume in comparison to what your grandparents and your parents ate? Yes, definitely. Our parents and grandparents used to eat very simple food, and the food was cooked on the uh, in earthen pots. But today we are like equipped with modern appliances and utensils. Also, today our food is much more. It is much more influenced by Western cuisine and also the North Indian cuisine. But for our parents and grandparents, it was much more localized food. As you were living in a different place for so many years, so like, are you easily getting connected to this place biodiversity? To some extent, yes, and to some extent, no, because I have also lived in Delhi for like 7 years, and the food habit and people culture, everything was so different. When I came to Odisha, it was very difficult for me to adjust and adapt with the change situation. We had to eat rice for 2 times a day, which was not convenient for me, and I was living in a totally different cultural background where food was much more related to wheat, puris, and parathas, everything. But here, food habit was totally different. But still, I was to some extent I was able to connect because I come from Bihar and food habits of Odisha are to some extent similar. And about the people, languages to some extent also similar, and the food which we eat and the trees, animals which we see around us are also similar. So different from Delhi, but similar from. The species of plants and animals which you were able to see in your area. Are you seeing that species of animals and plants in this area also, or is there any changes? Uh, there are some changes, but not completely. But actually, the thing is, the topography of Odisha and Bihar are totally different. So, in our area, it is too much greenery, but in Odisha, I find it's too many hills and plateaus, and where the tree species are different. But when talking about animals, to some extent, they are different, but not much. Also, it is very near to the coastal area, so fisheries and other organisms are widely available, which lacks in our region. I've also heard this thing about Bihar that it is a very greenery place and has a lot of plant biodiversity. Do you consume any kind of wild edible plants? If yes, then which time of the year are these plants found? Uh, Earlier we used to have all these fruits and plants, but now these days because of the shift of culture, change of culture, we are not able to follow those things. Also, they are not widely available, but to some extent there were some wild mushrooms which we used to eat, and also some flowers which we used to consume, and some there is this taro leaves. Taro leaves we had very regional dish we used to make from that, but nowadays you won't find it widely available enough. There's a lot of change in our biodiversity from earlier days. If yes, then what may be the reason for this? Yes, there have been changes, and I totally agree with you. The reason I believe is the climate change and also the cultural change. Now, because of the climatic change, many plants and animals are gradually are becoming extinct, and nowadays we do not find them easily. Also, because of the cultural shift, and rapid urbanization, many trees have been cut down, and we do not care about nature much, and that's how many trees and plants, even the natural habitats of animals, are getting lost. And obviously, we are responsible for it. So. As you told that human activities are much more responsible for destroying our own biodiversity. Then you might have heard about that
we have like in Kenja we have lots of mines, and there is a lot of mining activities going on. Then like how is it affecting, or like how is it affecting the Kenja's biodiversity?
Well, it's definitely affecting because for digging up the mines, we have to cut down all the trees down there. Also, there is a major population shift from one region to another, and also when we are digging up the soil, different layers of the soils are lost. Fertility is lost because when we extract the coals or anything out of the earth, many a times it has happened that there is provision that we need to fill that with the sand, but due to illegal mining activity, those areas are not filled, and it's very dangerous for people who are living in that area because houses might fall down. Apart from this, because of this mining activity, the air gets polluted a lot, and it's very hazardous. It's very dangerous for people, and not just the people, the animals and the plants, because they cannot breathe. It's very dangerous and high risk of various airborne diseases.